Hey everyone, Charlie here. Today I have a project that's kind of unexpected. I have a gas water heater, a tankless gas water heater to be exact, and it's a model number RL75i by Rinnai. Great water heater, never having a problem in about the 10 years, I think it's about 10 years old. And today though, I noticed there wasn't hot water, and so I came out and it was beeping, and there was a code 11 on the little screen on the front, which is right there. I unplugged it, plugged it back in, same thing, beeping, no hot water. It sounded like it was, going, and then it started beeping. Now though, it's working again, but I think that there's an issue there. So upon research, upon watching some YouTube videos, I'll link the ones down below relevant, because remember, I don't know what I'm doing. This is just kind of me going through what I'm about to do. Basically, in many cases, it's just being dirty on the inside. And I flush it every year, but I haven't actually I've opened it up once, but I haven't actually taken it apart and cleaned out the little orifices and things like that. And basically it doesn't look that bad to do. But another reason to do it is because it saves money versus hiring someone. And third reason is that the company that installed, I live in the Seattle area, the company that installed this originally I called them just out of curiosity of how much it cost, because my buddy, my neighbor, also had this happen to him and about a year or so ago, and they came out and fixed it. But that was before a 10-year cutoff for that company. They say that they won't service or work on any tankless water heater past the 10-year mark, which seems like a great way to sell more tankless water heaters, because we aren't even going to service it or clean it out, because that's probably what the issue is. But anyways, it would have cost like $209 plus tax, and that's who knows how long it would have taken them to actually get here. Probably not today. Sometimes these things get backed up and you might have to wait for a week or two to get someone out. But it would be like $250 after tax, and that's about what my buddy paid too about a year or so ago. So what I do need to do is get a long screwdriver, a long Phillips driver, like a 10-inch one, longer than normal, because there's a couple screws that you do have to take out that aren't normal. The rest of them are just normal Phillips screws. Anyway, so I'm gonna run to Lowe's, pick up a wire brush, maybe get a can of air, some compressed air type of a thing, and then we'll come back and get this thing fixed. All right, so I am here on top of a little step stool, and you are sitting on top of my outdoor refrigerator. But we have a pretty good view of this Rinnai RL75i here. So what we want to do is we want to shut it off. Hit the on and off button there. Pretty straightforward. Look at all this stuff. It's still it has all the brand new whatever. And I'm going to unplug it. So we don't have any power. Another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to shut off the gas to the machine. We don't want any gas going in. So I have a gas shut off valve. The way mine is wired up is it's down, hope you can see it, down here, this yellow one down there. So I'm just gonna twist that. Shut the gas off to the unit completely, and we're good to go. It's completely off. Now, I'm not going to shut off the water supply, since we aren't getting into that. We're gonna be opening up stuff. This isn't like flushing the machine. If you want, check out that video, because I have a video of me showing you how to flush out one of these things. So check that out, because that's in case you want to know how to flush one of these things out. Now so now we got to get this cover off. Figuring it, I've done that before, but I can't remember how. There's trim pieces. This might just pop off. Or they go up. I don't know, how does that work? This one's just kind of jiggling out. So it comes off somehow. Yep, there we go. Just kind of comes off. I wiggled it out, and then we've got two Phillips screws there. Jiggle out the other side. Now I can't easily move this refrigerator, which is why I'm not. So I'm going to be doing everything at an angle, which is going to make things extra exciting. Sometimes you just want some extra excitement. So there we go. Just pop off the trim. They're just two plastic pieces. Oh, I guess it looks like there's you can kind of see some little clips, so there's probably a better way to do that than what I just did, because you probably would risk getting the clip's broken. But everything nowadays is made out of plastic, right? So sometimes breaking trim pieces is an inevitable part of the DIY experience. So there's 4 Phillips heads. I think everything in this machine is dropping stuff is also an inevitable part. There's they're all Phillips heads, which if you're not familiar, they're just the plus sign ones. I think everything in this machine is a Phillips head screwdriver. Now I will need to buy a long Phillips head screwdriver. I don't know if that's what you call it. It might just be called a Phillips head driver or something. Because there's 2 screws that require much longer than this one. So before I get to that part, I will end up doing that, running to the store real quick. But I'm just gonna film this part right now, getting this off, like so. The 3rd one. And there are a lot of things that we're gonna be taking apart on the inside. So keeping these organized is gonna be pretty important. I'll end up dropping some probably, but hopefully not many. And if I'm really lucky, not any. Put this here. You don't notice I've got 1 foot balanced on the little, metal thing that they put in front of these, cemented into the floor, or bolted into the concrete floor. All right, there you go. Now you see the inside. This outer cover just comes right off. It's just a piece of plastic. You can set that aside. You can see the inside now. I'm gonna tilt it down. The majority of what we're gonna be doing is up here. We are gonna take the control panel off, but the majority of what we're gonna do is right up in there. And basically we're gonna be taking off the outer screws here, disconnecting stuff. Then inside there's gonna be the place with all the holes, right? Here's the little flame window you can see. And then we're gonna take that out, clean it out, blow it out, stuff like that. Clean it, put it back in, put everything back together. That's the main part. So the part we really are going for is back in here. All right, so I went down and I picked up a very long Craftsman magnetic tipped Phillips driver, a can of compressed air, and a set of 3 different brushes. One is like nylon, I think, and then there's like a brass and then a stainless steel one. These can help clean later. Now I might recommend that you take pictures as you go before you start disconnecting things, and keep all of the screws organized. All right, so here we go. First I'm going to take off the screw below to get the control panel off. I'm going to disconnect the 3 sensor wires up above. Then I'm going to be taking off the silver Phillips screws, or whatever you want to call them, that go around the outside. Not taking off the black ones, and not taking off the silver ones around the sensors. Somewhere there's a gasket that needs to be replaced if you take one of those parts off or something, I've heard, so don't do that unless you want to replace the gasket. Take off the bottom wires. There's like 4. Now we'll take off the second piece above, and then you'll see where the little burners and holes are, which are probably dirty. Now there's 2 Phillips screws way back in the back. Those are a pain to get out, and you have to have a really long Phillips head screwdriver. That's what I went to buy. Now getting this part out here was tough. I had to like wiggle and jiggle and all kinds of stuff. This was kind of one of the harder parts to get this part out, but I eventually got it out. All right. Look at all the stuff everywhere. Oh, stuff's like falling out even onto my hands. Look at it. Now I've got it outside, got it in a box, and I have a can of compressed air that I'm using to clean this off with. If you have like an air compressor, that's probably even better. I'm also using like a wire brush to clean out everything. I'm trying to get this sucker as clean as I can get it. So that's what I'm doing here. Also cleaning out that other piece. Just want to use a back to clean out the inside. And also use a back to put on that burner thing. I'm not sure what that's called, but it's called the burner thing. So now, cleaning out the inside of that again, I'll slide it back in. And this was also very hard to get these Phillips screws back in. The long Phillips screwdriver, make sure it's magnetic so you won't be dropping, so you'll be less likely to drop stuff back there. But it took a lot of finagling to kind of get these two Phillips screws in, and this was kind of a difficult part for me. Eventually I got it, but it's hard to kind of line it up and see back there and all that stuff. But eventually I got them in. Now I noticed the sensors were also dirty, so I used a $1 bill and kind of cleaned them off. The little 3 sensors, the inside, they were covered in stuff, so I cleaned those off with a $1 bill. Now is a process of me trying to put all the stuff together, and now this was hit or miss. Now I tried to keep things organized, but it wasn't successful. You might be able to do a better job. Like I'm putting pieces in before, this prop, so I had to take it out and then put it in again, and it was kind of a thing. And then they're slightly different sizes, and some of them didn't fit, and so it was a whole lot of guessing and checking for me. But if you keep them organized better than I did, then hopefully you'll be able to not have to worry about that. Now make sure you put the little loop things through the appropriate screws if there's one next to it that was originally there. It's a good idea to just take a picture of the thing, before you take things apart so you know where they go. I referred back to pictures of mine as well. And so here you go. You see me kind of messing with it, moving screws around to make it all fit and go in good. Eventually, though, I got it. This is kind of a annoying part of it for me, but eventually I got everything in, and hopefully for you it'll be much more seamless. This is my first time doing it, and I tried to stay organized, but it wasn't entirely successful. So you see me putting things together, taking them apart. I realized I hadn't connected the appropriate things behind it, and you have to put those 4 connectors back together again. Now I'm hooking the 3 sensors back up and putting the control pad back on. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is see if this thing works. So before I put the cover back on, everything is hooked up. I'm going to turn the gas back on. Down below, plug it back in. Turn it on. Well, let's let the sound stop. It's doing something. Wait for the whatever it's doing to stop. All right, turn it on. All right, now I'm going to go in and run some hot water and see how it works. Looks like it's running, no error. You can look into the hole and you'll see the flame. Let's take a look again. All right, so that's about it. Put the outside cover and the trim pieces back on, and hopefully you're good to go. And so far, so good on mine. Knock on wood. All right, well, I think that's it. It seems to be working. Hopefully the error code won't come back. Knock on wood. Got it put back together, and I think we're good. All right, so hopefully that was helpful. Remember, again, I don't know what I'm doing, so this is just kind of a documentation of me going through this process. If you want to check out my how to flush it video, I'll link that down below. And now it's time to clean up this mess of random stuff. And I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye.